All right, let's go.
Single out salute. I'm Lord Matre, the hip hop futurist. You're now tuned into the Super Longevity Institute podcast. This evening, I have a very special guest. He's a member of IBEW Local Union 86, journeyman, wireman, and is the executive director of the M.A.P.P, and Project Phoenix. He has vast construction related experience and thereby brings practical experience to the team. In addition, he has completed the coordinators and instructors training from the North America Building Trades Union, multi-craft core curriculum, and oversees its use in M.A.P.P. M.A.P.P stands for Multi-Craft Apprenticeship Preparation Program. It's a not-for-profit New York State certified direct entry building and construction trades labor council supported pre-apprenticeship opportunity. M.A.P.P provides the historically underserved population in the Rochester, New York area with the experience, education, and basic skills required to successfully become construction apprentice. M.A.P.P addresses the critical need for greater diversity in the construction industry workforce. Ladies and gentlemen, hip hop futurists worldwide, the executive of director of M.A.P.P, Mr. Kereem Berry. Yo, what's up, man? Welcome to the Institute.
Thank you, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. You did your homework, man.
Yeah, man, because I know people, because people don't read, they don't read the websites. They don't go on the websites to read. They want to call
Did
you
your
up and ask you all
homework.
types of questions. I know people, yo. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to make any mistakes. I just read from what I see because I don't want to make any mistakes, yo, and whatnot when
That's
it
what's
comes to
up.
information and whatnot. And I had other guests, and sometimes, most of the time, I get it right, but sometimes there be some new updates that I don't know about. You know what I'm saying? So then they just be like, yo, I'm doing this now, Matre, which is all right with me. I want people to know. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right.
Yo, so let me
Okay.
let me ask you something. What was your journey? How did you start M.A.P.P? What was the mindset you was? Why did you start M.A.P.P? And why did you feel the passion to go out and teach trade to the urban community? Because we don't have the trades in the urban community anymore.
That's true. Actually, I am not the founder of MAP.
Mm.
MAP was started in 2012. Now, my predecessor, the person who was running it before me, I'll say he didn't have the people's interest at heart. He didn't have a vested interest in the community that he was supposed to be serving. How that sound? All right. So the the business manager of IBEW Local 86 at the time, who was David Young, he asked me if I was willing to step up and take over the program. And I told
Mm.
him as long as we have complete like autonomy, like I can just let me do it, it'll be fine.
Mm.
So I took over in 2017.
Mm.
Yeah, it was 2017. I
Wow.
brought on my man Jerry Hunt, and the rest is history. I mean, logos and stuff like that, they didn't have any of that beforehand. So
Wow.
as you can see, the red, black, and green, you already know what that is.
No doubt.
Um, we here, and it's a need for that because, as you said earlier, the trades are not readily available to black folks. It's plain and simple, right?
Mm.
Now, the union trades, especially, and being in the union trade, you have there's so many doors open to you. I mean, it depends on where you at and actually what trade you're in, but you can even use some of your apprenticeship towards college credits. A lot of folks don't know that,
Mm. Yeah, I didn't know
right?
that.
So that in conjunction with your benefits, your actual skill set, things that you like really know,
Mm.
is invaluable. At the end of your apprenticeship, no student debt. So
Wow.
you go through all that training, you earn while you learn, and at the end of it all, you don't owe anything.
That's crazy.
That's it's a beautiful thing, and
Yo, you
it's
coming
a
out of school
real
debt
it's
free?
a
That's what y'all doing?
it's right.
That's
It's a
crazy.
secret. It's a secret. You don't have many folks. Well, let me born and raised in Harlem. I moved up to Rochester. That's a whole nother story. Get into that another time.
Right.
But in the city, you don't have a whole lot of skilled tradesmen that are like located in the city, as opposed to maybe the suburbs where your next door neighbor is a pipe fitter and the dude down the block is an electrician, because that's typically how it really goes. I have
Right.
like people that I know that I work with that their neighbors are like other construction workers, but live out in the suburbs and really, really nice homes. I mean,
Right.
there's nice parts of the city as well. I like to say where I live is like the suburb of the city. I just had no interest moving to the burbs, none whatsoever.
Mm.
But yeah, people just don't know about the opportunity that's there, and we give them that opportunity. Like you
Wow.
said, we have direct entry. So after you go through MAP, because I went through the North American Building Trades Union program, it's called NAB2, because we went through that, well, I have that training, it's official and we can bring people in directly. You finish MAP, you're guaranteed a career.
Mm.
You can't ask for much more than that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, because some people have jobs for a certain amount of time, and then they wake up one day and they don't have a job. That's what's going on
Right.
out here.
See, that's the whack part about having a job.
Yeah.
See, a job, even okay, so you go to school to be an accountant, right?
Mm. Mm.
So you go to school to be an accountant, that's 4 years of school, and you're not necessarily even working as an accountant while you're going through school,
Mm.
right? So at the end of your 4 years, you get your degree, you still have that student debt, right? And you may get a job as an accountant. You may. It's no guarantee that you're going to have a job as an accountant,
That's
as
right.
opposed to me going through a 5 year apprenticeship for the IBEW. I go through the apprenticeship. As I'm going through the apprenticeship, I'm working in the trade that I'm studying in. And once I'm done and become a journeyman, I'm still working in the trade that I studied to work in, and I have no student debt
That's amazing.
with great benefits.
That's crazy.
Great benefits. Like I'm well taken care of. I eat good. You understand?
Wow. I see, man. Damn. I mean, how long has Map been in existence? I mean, how long have you been working with them so far?
Since 17, yeah, since 2017,
Wow.
I came in and we basically took over the game. We were recognized by a lot of um, entities or organizations as one of, I don't want to be too arrogant and get anybody in trouble, but one of the best
Mm.
job training programs in the state. We have people from Albany coming up here trying to figure out what we do, how we do. People
Wow.
from downstate looking into it. Everyone wants to come and be a part of and figure out why what we do works. And so they could try to implement that somewhere else, imitate it really somewhere else. But it is, we do all right. We do all right. It's a genuine interest for the people. It's a genuine interest for
Wow.
the people.
Um, how old is the students that go to Map? What's the age
Well,
range?
okay, so the criteria for MAP: 18 to 40,
Hmm.
high school diploma or equivalent, valid driver's license, a vehicle, and the thing that we have really the biggest issue with, you have to be able to pass the drug screen.
Mm.
Now, people say, well, what if I can just get to work, right? That's cool, that's cute, but this is not the city. So there's not the public transportation here is a bus, and that bus might run every hour or something like
Right.
that. It depends on
Makes
where you're
sense.
trying to go, right? Now, if you're working, you have to work within your jurisdiction, right? So anywhere within that jurisdiction, you are responsible to be there at 7 a.m. Now, some of the things or some of the places that you may work may be outside the city, outside the even the jurisdiction of the bus company, right? So
Wow.
there's no buses that go out there, and it's
Okay.
still your responsibility, rain, sleet, hail, or snow, to be there at 7 o'clock.
Wow.
It might be cute. Moms might take you there 1 day, 2 days,
No doubt.
but to be there every day at 7 o'clock, nobody's doing that for you. You have to have your own.
Yeah.
Grandma used to always say, God bless the child that got his own. And if you're
Yeah.
going to be a construction worker, you need to have your own.
Yeah. I hear you with that, man. Yeah, man. You can't rely on public transportation out there. You got to
Nah, not at
You got.
all.
I
It's
mean,
crazy.
for real. You know
It's
what I'm saying?
crazy.
So you know, what's some of the things you're teaching at MAP? Like, what is some of the trades that you're teaching?
We don't necessarily teach you a specific trade. Everything we
Okay.
do is like general. So um, I tell people all the time, man, the way that you have to carry yourself in the trades are about 20% skill, 80% of how you carry it,
Mm,
right? So you're going to be tested on the job sites. There's a lot of people that still have that good old boy club mentality that you're going to be working with,
right.
and you're not necessarily welcomed on the job site. I mean, you see all types of weird sayings and drawings in the we call them porta potties, the
Wow.
polygons, the public, the little portable bathrooms.
Yes. Yes.
People take their sharpies and draw all type
Wow.
of pictures and little sayings. You'll see swastikas and yeah,
Wow.
it's still. And people don't understand the culture difference. Certain things one culture will find funny, we don't find that funny at all. Like it's a lot of jokes that just people will always have something to say,
Yeah.
and it's just not funny. Where I grew up, we say that gets hands and feet put on you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
So I kind of coach my people into not being shocked
Right.
when they hear that. Now you need to address it. So you
Right.
want to play, that's cool. Play with them. Don't play with me like that.
Exactly.
So we get an understanding, and I teach them how to go about getting that understanding. And
Mm.
it's not a thing of whether or not maybe it'll happen. It's definitely going to happen.
Wow.
Everyone that's graduated MAP came back and was talking to the next cohort. They always told them, "Yeah, everything Kareem said, that's man, that's real." I'm
Wow.
like, "Yeah, I told you. I'm speaking from experience. I'm
Right.
letting
Right.
you know exactly what's going to happen. No ifs,
Wow.
ands, or buts about it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it."
So, question for you: do you think that that the urban community, black folks, um, were deliberately, uh, uh, discriminated against as far as the trade and as far as getting in the construction industry? Do you think there was some type of like, we don't want you here?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Wow.
Absolutely. I mean, when you look at the history of unions, okay, so unions are coming about like right after the period of Reconstruction, right? So all the slaves are emancipated, right? And now who's the real true skilled trade workforce? All the ex-slaves, right? So
Mm,
now people need jobs done. They need craftsmen, a lot of carpentry and woodworking and such, and they're looking to do that work. And the best people for that are the people who were doing it, the people who
right.
built this country, right?
Right.
So that's who they're going to get the work. Now that's putting good white folks out of jobs.
Right.
Now you have to, at this stage, enter into that mass immigration. Now Ellis Allen is starting to get flooded with immigrants of European descent because now black folks are starting to take over the country. They can't have that. That's
Mm,
just America. This is American history. It's nothing. People like to say, "Oh, that's racist." It's not racist. First and foremost, black folks can't be racist. I'm not even gonna get into that. That's a whole other story.
no
But
doubt.
once we start taking positions in government,
Mm,
black folks start getting too much of a foothold in this country. So bringing immigration now, they have some skilled trades as well. Now you get to a point where if you hire anyone other than an Irishman or an Italian, now you get that's where the violence of the trades come in,
wow.
right? The violence of the unions that you always like the Jimmy
Yeah.
Hoffa and all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you have all that part that plays in.
Right.
Now they brought us in after the fact because unions are all about numbers.
Right.
So they let black folks in, build the numbers up, but then you still act funny. So we're the last hired, first fired,
Wow.
right? It's always that type of thing. And you have the nepotism of you bypass everyone so your nephew or your brother
Right.
or son can get in,
Right.
and it's
Right.
always that. Now the laws, especially in New York State, are a little bit different because the Department of Labor really looks at that, and you have to go through the process. So you have to go through the application, the assessment, and there's your waiting list and all such, which comes into play where, like I said, we have direct entry. So if
Right.
you go through MAP, you can skip over a lot of that. You still have to meet the criteria, but you can skip over a lot of the red tape, so to speak, and actually get into the program.
Wow. Wow. At one time in the educational system, they taught you a trade in the educational system. When did they start? When did they stop that? And why?
I can't tell you when they stopped it because there's still some places that have vocation. There was a school here in Rochester called it still exists, Edison Tech,
Hmm.
and they taught the trades there. Now the problem with that is we'll go back to Booker T. Washington and the founding of Tuskegee, along with whatever academic discipline that you chose. It was mandatory that you had a skilled trade. Mandatory. So the students of Tuskegee are the ones that actually built that institution.
Oh wow.
Like
Right.
physically, they actually built it, right?
Wow.
So when you look at that, as we were talking about earlier, you go to school to be an accountant, but maybe accounting isn't necessary right now. I'll keep it in modern times, but somebody still wants that debt built on the back of their house.
Right.
Somebody's light doesn't work. Somebody needs a ceiling fan installed.
Right.
Someone's toilet is backed up. So
Right.
those skilled trades, you can always feed yourself with that because you have a skill. And once you see that, and black folks are really capable of taking care of themselves, regardless of a higher institution, higher learning institution,
Right.
you don't necessarily have to go to college to make nice money and make a good living for yourself. There's people that retired from the IBEW and my local with over
Wow.
$1 million in their pension.
Wow.
I mean, in their annuity,
Wow. That's
over
wonderful,
a
man.
million dollar cash money. That's your money. Over
The,
$1 million.
that's incredible, man. I
Hmm.
know this is really important. Um, why do you think the generation before us push education down down our throats so much? It's just like, yo, you gotta get an education. That's all I heard. Like, get an education, get an education. In my mind, I was like, everybody's broke.
And, okay,
Like,
so
what are we
the
talking
ration,
about?
yeah, the rationale behind that is black folks thought they could educate themselves out of racism.
Mhm.
That's the reality of it.
Right, right,
They thought, well, if we prove to everyone that we're just as smart as them,
right. That
or
makes sense.
and we can go through the same, we went to the same schools, and we can do everything. But it's an old joke, and I don't know if you may have to edit this out. But
No,
what do you call a black doctor?
an educated nigga.
Nigga. Right. It doesn't matter.
Right.
If you look at a lot of the old lynchings, they're all dressed very well.
Yo,
Professional people.
you,
They're all professional
yo,
people.
you ain't lying,
That
yo.
didn't that did not stop you from getting lynched. As a matter of
Right.
fact, that's the folks who they're looking after because you are what uppity. I just had a situation where we separated. We had an umbrella company
Right.
that MAP actually fell under, and we got away from that. But
Wow.
there was a little bit of tension, and a lot of it was um, us not following orders, like
Wow.
good folks are supposed to.
Right.
And yeah, it's a funny thing, man.
I
It's a
understand
funny
that.
thing.
Trust me, I get it. I see it every day. The type of discrimination and stuff that's going on, and this is why I think that once brothers and sisters are able to feed themselves and be debt free, we won't have no problems. We
None,
have very few problems.
none.
If we could,
Once we decide to come together,
mm-hmm,
like everybody else,
right,
we're the only people that get persecuted for being proud of who we are.
no doubt.
The only people. whatever. But
What do you
folks see it, it'll change.
um? Is there any test that they have to take after they finish their training? Do the kids have to take
What,
like a test, like a written test or something?
with us or
Yeah,
with the apprenticeship?
with your
No. What we do as a part of MAP, we give them a OSHA 10, we give them first aid CPR, we give them 80 hours of math tutoring, so they will definitely pass whatever assessment that they have to get in to whatever trade. We take them on tours of all the training facilities so they get some hands-on and experience what the trade is really going to be like. They meet the training instructors, the coordinators. So we build a relationship between the people who go through MAP and the trades that they're trying to get into. And
crazy.
I worked in the field before, so I have relationships with like the training coordinators. I worked with some of them in the field. We like all came out the field together. We came out and went into the office all together.
Wow.
So we still have those relationships and they
Right.
respect what we do and they know if someone from MAP goes to them that that person has gone through the ringer because I make sure that they understand exactly what they're getting themselves into
Right.
and give them a sense of pride for community, self, and MAP because I'm like, listen, at this point, you're repping this.
Right.
And you can't have me out here looking crazy, man. I
Exactly.
put my name on you. How
Right.
Marlo said it, my name is my name. And
Yo.
you need to go out there and represent that.
Yo, you ain't lying, yo. Reputation, man, is very important.
Very
Extremely
important.
important. It's the cornerstone. You ain't lying, man.
Yeah.
And so, wow. Um, see, this is good because it lets them know what they're getting involved with, and they can, if they don't want to get involved with, they can see something else. But they at least they know beforehand.
Right.
You don't want to get into
Right.
something and be in the middle of something, then realize you don't even want to know. You be like, what? How the hell did I get here? Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
It's one part that I excluded. We actually pay them to go through MAP. We give them it's a stipend.
Crazy.
We pay them a stipend, and
Damn.
at the end, if they survive and they actually graduate MAP, we give them $500 towards tools, and we give them $500 towards work clothes.
That's crazy. So
So you
basically,
have no excuse. You have
what?
no excuse. Everything is on you at that point.
Yo, we gotta, man, yo, this is crazy. I mean, we need more programs like this. I mean, we know we got the answers, man. We just gotta, we gotta come together. We gotta get behind what Mr. Kereem Berry is doing, man. Matt, we gotta get behind him, and if anybody's interested, like if any of the kids are interested, where do they go to find you?
Well, you can go to our website, which is rockmap.org, ROCMAPP.org. We're also on Facebook under
Okay,
Rock Map. We have Instagram. I started a Twitter. Social media is really not my thing. I try to
right,
just keep little things up there. We have videos and such. It's a lot of information on Facebook, but if you're trying to fill out an application for MAP, and you have to be in the Rochester area for right now.
right.
If you came down to 40 Humboldt Street, we're in the back parking lot. It's a gray door. You really can't miss it.
Mm,
And come in, fill out an application, and we go from there. You can also fill out an application online
mm.
from the website.
Man, we need more of these. We need. You got to come to the city, man. And how you guys funded? Who
Well,
funds? If you don't mind me asking, who fund y'all? You, we
well,
need to
see,
give. We
that's
just need to give this brother. We need to. I'm telling you, man. I don't know how y'all get your funding over there, but I know this is important. Nobody can tell me this ain't important.
we we used to be funded through the state,
Mm,
right? So the state used to kick back money from through the Department of Labor to an organization called WDI that basically acted as our fiduciary.
mm,
So they were like the liaison between to make sure all the money went where it was supposed to go. No issues there.
right.
But when COVID hit last year, that was a problem. So a lot of money got pulled back. As a
Wow.
matter of fact, the whole Democratic delegation within this area came here and asked Governor Cuomo to release the money that was already allotted. So we
Wow.
had like 200,000 that was we were supposed to have last year. That would have helped us greatly, but we didn't get it. So we had some leftover money from an independent funder, but that was only for like a 2 year period, right? So this is actually our last year of that. And
Wow.
that's not even enough to really carry us the entire way. So there's a lot of training programs around here that supposedly do what we do, but at the end of the day, they basically give you a certificate, pat you on the back, and tell you good luck. Now, at that point, you're looking to
Mm.
try to get into the unions if you're working in construction,
Right.
and you're basically exactly where you left off.
Wow.
Again, when you finish with M.A.P.P, direct entry, you are guaranteed a career. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Wow.
And with the way that we're set up now, because we are our own entity, we're looking to branch M.A.P.P off the same way any local union would branch off. So this would be like M.A.P.P Local 1,
Mm.
down in the city might be M.A.P.P Local 2, but as a whole, a collective to get people involved in the trades. This is this is going to be big. This is going to be
Wow.
big. But
Where,
we could definitely, if there are some funders out there, please
yeah.
help us.
Yeah.
We
Definitely.
need the funding.
Where can they find you? If
What do
they
you
want to
mean?
give you some funding, if they're interested and they want to ask more questions, or they want to reach you.
My email address would probably be the best way, which
Mm.
is kberry, KBERRY at rockmap.org.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, and I'll definitely leave all this information in the description when I post it. So
Okay,
you know,
okay.
so if people want to check it out and they want more information, they can just go to your website. Um, do you see this type of do you see an organization in other cities? Because if it's successful in one place, it will be successful in other places also.
Well, people are trying to do that, but
Mm.
they've tried and failed in other areas. Now they're seeing the success that we have, and they're trying to figure out why what we do works. So everyone is coming, wanting to do tours and sit down, basically pick my brain, intellectual property to figure out how we can take M.A.P.P and do it over here.
Wow.
Now there's a organization in Albany, and they've been helpful as far as like making sure we get money and such, and they've been very supportive in Albany. But
Wow.
that's where we're actually looking to have our second branch of M.A.P.P in Albany,
Wow. Yeah, that would be
and we
dope.
can get at least like upstate and Western New York with all the folks that's in the city. I don't see why, with the population down there, why we can't make that happen on a grand scale.
Yeah.
We could take M.A.P.P across the country seriously.
Wow. Yeah, that would be dope. That would,
This could be like the urban league of the building trades.
yeah, man, that would be crazy, man. Because
Mm,
the thing that I hear with the young people is that you ask them what they want to do. It's either two things: sports or entertainment. I mean, come on, now. We can't all be sports and entertainers. Damn, we have to
right.
figure out. It's like we gotta figure out what's needed, and then pick from what's
Right.
needed. It's like these people
Everybody
just
got a demo, right?
yeah. I don't even. And
Uh,
I'm like, come on, man. You could still be participate in your culture and get a skill, man. Go to
right.
map, get a skill. You know what I'm saying? Get a skill that you know what
Skill.
I'm saying that you can do that you can help empower yourself and empower your community because these are skills that's necessary.
Empower your community. Everyone's talking about, well, we want reparations, and that's a big conversation now. Once you get that, who's going to build your community?
Exactly.
Who's going to do it? You're still looking for other people to do for you. It's really time for us to do for self. I'm
Yeah.
not saying don't have relationships, but don't look for someone else to fix your problem. You fix your problem.
Yeah, man. I mean, uh, you know, um, that's another thing. Like when you want to get something done now these days, it's so hard to get find. Like I was like, yo, it's so hard to find people with the right exact skills, this right skill set to do the job these days. And I realized I was like, damn, if we only listen and stop and didn't be bougie, we could have just got a skill early. We could have just got a skill early. We'd have been good. Yo,
Right.
I had mad uncles that say, yo, man, why don't you just do the electrician work, Trey? You'll be fine. I was like, I didn't want to do that electrician work. I thought I was better than the job. I ain't had no money. Stupid. Feeling cotton in your pocket. Like,
Oh
ain't even
man,
no
that's
change in there.
funny.
You got nothing but cotton. Feeling cotton all
That's
day.
funny.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm-mm.
So I'm like, yo, man, I was so excited to do this interview because I said, yo, I jumped on it. I said, you know what, man? I don't know what everybody else do, but I'm gonna do my part. Just let the ball bounce with me. I just gonna do my part. Anybody who I think is interested in the community and is doing stuff that I think is necessary, we're gonna have a Bronx principal on here, man, next week.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's going great. Yo, you know what I'm saying? I'm not, this is not about scandal on this show. We you know what I'm saying? We going in the community, we find the people that's actually doing the work, you know, that's actually out here doing the work and actually care. It's not just a job, they care about doing the work. Kereem Berry, he cares about his community and the kids coming up. Because, every time you turn on the news, there's somebody getting shot. Like, come on, man. They don't even. What news is going to broadcast the good things that our people are doing, yo? We doing all types of stuff out here. Ain't nobody putting no light on it. I'm
That's a
tired of that.
fact.
So this is
That's
here
a
at Super
fact.
Longevity Institute. We're gonna bring people that's doing. We're gonna stick to the positive on this show. You know what I'm saying? How much staff do
Much
you
respect
have?
on that. Staff. There's me and my partner Jerry. That's
Okay.
it. See, all the collateral that you would see, the
Mm.
brochures, most of the brochure stuff is Jerry. He's
Wow,
phenomenal with that. But the videos and all that, everything that you see is either Jerry or myself.
that's crazy.
Like
See,
design, the website, everything. We don't
wow,
have like a webmaster. Everything is in house. Everything.
wow. Yeah, I respect that because I know how hard it is to get anything off the ground. People are
Yeah.
crazy.
It's a struggle.
It's a,
It's a struggle.
it's every time and it's double a struggle when you. I mean, I hate this. I don't want to sound negative, but when you black, it seems like there's a extra cloud. Like people don't want to see people do good. And
Yeah, that's
it's time to change that.
that's just facts. It's not even sounding negative.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
no doubt, no
It
doubt.
is what it is. So
Yeah. So what is some of the uh construction work you see that you see that will be beneficial for us? Like what do you see urban people? What type of jobs you see us in the construction field doing?
oh, you name it. I mean, you have electrical work, you have sheet metal work, you have the bricklayers, you have masonry, just general laborer, you have iron work.
Oh, that yo,
Um,
I want to do. I was saying that
nah,
today.
see, I'm
Yo, I said,
you can
oh
keep
shit,
that.
I
I'm
could do.
not trying to walk on. Nah, and they do
I
great stuff.
seen
I mean,
that,
it's not
yo.
even just structural steel. They have
That
like
shit is
ornamental
ill.
type stuff, like the wrought iron and all that. That's
Yeah,
all iron work.
that shit is
That's
crazy.
all
Yo,
iron work.
that intrigued. I seen a lady. She said, "Yeah, I'm making 100 grand." I see that today. I said, wow. She said, "Yeah." They showed her she was taking it. It was some like some fire coming out the joint. She was bending the iron. I said, "Oh shit, she's an iron worker, yo."
Yeah,
I said, "Oh
it's serious.
shucks." She was like, "Yeah, I was making $15 an hour. Now I'm doing iron work, making 100 grand a year." She
Hmm.
looked happy too. She didn't look miserable.
Yeah, I mean, depending on what area that you're in,
Hmm.
like down where you are, right?
Hmm.
I think in check for an electrical worker right now is like around 60,
Hmm.
60 an hour, and that's in check. So when I say in check, that doesn't include your benefits and pension and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
So when you put the total package together, you may bring home 60 an hour in check, but your complete package is over $100 an hour.
Wow.
So you can honestly say I make over $100 an hour
Wow.
because that's all. But we are self-funded as far as our health care and all that. But all that's included. There's
Mm-hmm.
what we call a collective bargaining agreement, a CBA.
Mm.
So labor basically bargains with management, and we come to an agreement. All right, this is how much we're going to get paid, and we go back with now labor, and we kind of divvy up that money. So we want X amount of dollars here. We need this amount of money to pay this amount of money to pay that, and that's how the money basically gets divvied up. But depending on where you are,
Mm.
man, you can.
Wow.
It's nice. It's
Wow.
nice. I was about to go to Hawaii a couple of years ago
Mm.
because they were building some resorts out there,
Mm.
and all you had to do was get there. They were putting you up in another resort. So you were getting Hawaii scale, which at the time was like 50 something an hour.
Wow.
Um, they were putting you up so you had room and board. They were giving you a per diem for food.
Wow.
And all you had to do was come to work every day. And you were working like 6, 12, 6 tens or something like that.
Oh,
So
that's good.
6 days a week, 12 hours a day. But anything after 8 hours is time and a half. So you
Wow.
got $50+ at 8 hours straight. Anything after eight is 50 plus time and a half. So, yeah, right. And all you
Builders.
doing is
So saying
caking,
builders, yo.
this caking. My wife wasn't trying to hear that though.
Wow. Yeah. 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 I could dig it. I could dig it. I understand. You was in Hawaii too. You been chilling. Palm trees. No food. You ain't gotta pay for no food. But you working 12 hours. You ain't got no time to do nothing. By the time you get home, you
Exactly.
tired as hell.
You tired, go to sleep, wake up, do it again.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it is what it is, man. That's why, man. I mean, I'm tired. Look, for all the girls and boys out there, I don't want to sound like Mr. Rogers. Please, please, do not write up on me and tell me you want to be a rapper or an entertainer. I don't want to hear it no more. I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
I want to hear some
It's
more
over.
diversity, yo. You know what I'm saying?
It's
You
over.
can still have these hobbies and still do something. You know what I'm saying? To build your community, find a skill and build your community. You know what I'm saying? Because it'd be nice if we can hire our own when we need something done. You know what I'm saying?
How about that? How about
It'd
that?
just be nice. Can I just hire
Yeah.
someone? Can I just hire somebody?
How about that?
Everybody else is, can I just hire somebody on my own, please? Thank you. And listen, don't send me none of your hate mail talking about what trade. Why you talking about the trades? Why you dissing the rappers? I don't want to hear it. Nah, I'm only kidding. Nobody gonna send me no emails about that. I'm just kidding. But yeah, man. All jokes aside, though, man, I'm really thankful that you came on the show. I'm really proud of what you're doing, man. And the logo looks dope.
Thank you.
And
Thank
on
you.
the shirt, the logo's dope. That's real nice, yo. That's real official. Super dope, yo. Super
Yeah.
dope. And I'm glad to have you on, man. And I want to have you on. I definitely want to bring you back because I want to see the progress of where M.A.P.P is going. Because I know you're gonna do great things, and I
Yeah.
want to document it. And so anybody that's out there that's interested and want to help the community and want to help with funding, or anybody in the Rochester area that wants to get future training, yo, holla at Kereem Berry, man. Let them know your email one more time and your
That's K
website.
Berry at rockmap, ROCMAPP.org. And the website is ROCMAPP.org. As a matter of fact, wait a minute. I don't know how this is going to look on camera.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. Oh, that's another question I have to ask you. That's dope. I love the Phoenix
We
program.
we we designed these too.
Wow, dope, super dope, yo. Um, tell them. So, what's the Phoenix program?
All right, so Project Phoenix
Project.
basically it's a feeder for MAP. So
Mm,
it actually allows me to see whether or not a person will be able to make it in the construction trades. So Phoenix is a typical construction day, 7:30. I mean 7 o'clock to 3:30, 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m.
Mm,
And we work in conjunction with a organization called City Roots. They basically acquire a whole bunch of homes in the city of Rochester and renovate them.
mm,
So we go in partnership with them. We renovate the homes. Now that allows me to see the participants of MAP, them show up to work every day, ready to work, working hard and not hardly working, and being able to pick up the skill. So if I show you how to use a drill, will you retain that knowledge tomorrow?
mm,
If we're building a wall, will you retain that knowledge tomorrow? So the next day, will you just pick up where you left off, or do I have to instruct you all over again?
mm,
How many times did you miss work? Because we don't play those type of games. We can't
yeah,
have you when you get in Project Phoenix. That gives me a nice glimpse of how you're going to carry it once you get into the field for real.
mm,
Like I said, it's 20% skill, 80% of how you carry it.
right,
So you're there at work, but you got an attitude all day. Who wants to work with a person with an attitude all day? No
that's
one's going to
true.
do that. You're not going to work. The foreman's going to find a reason to get rid of you.
That's true.
Jerry always says people do business with people who they like.
Yeah,
If you make
yo.
the whole job site miserable, you got to go.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
If you're not at work every day, you're not reliable. You have to go. If you're not there on time, you have to go.
Right, right.
So Project Phoenix allows me to see what you're really going to be like once you get into the trades. And if you
Mm,
make it, then you move into MAP. So it's Project Phoenix first, then MAP. And
yeah,
Project Phoenix is our
wow.
own thing. We came up with that when we started MAP.
Super dope, man. I mean, work ethic is crazy important no matter what you do. Work
That's correct.
ethic. Work ethic. How many people want to just outwork? You just want to outwork people. You just want to put your
Right.
best foot forward. I mean, that should always be a goal, yo. I just don't, the work ethic is not what it's supposed to be these days.
Not
People are
at all.
complaining all the time. Oh, my back hurt. You better get out there and work, man. You know what I'm saying? The work ethic is we got
I
that's
remember,
another issue, yo. The
yeah,
work
work
ethic.
ethic is everything. Everything. I
You ain't
remember
lying.
growing up, we used to watch the Jetsons and how he used to beef because he had to press a button all day. Remember that?
Yeah.
And that's pretty much where folks are now. Like you sit there and you do your little type thing all day, and you,
Exactly.
oh my God, I'm this. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
all right. Well, see, the building that you're sitting in, yeah, yeah, I built that.
No doubt.
Yeah, I'm the reason why you can. I'm the reason why you can see those lights that are installed and the power that's in the building.
That's right.
The reason why you can turn your computer on. I did that.
No doubt. No doubt. And I don't know what happened in the community where we started to look down on people who want to service the community using their skills and their hands. I don't know where did we go wrong with that? Because I know I identify with that. I know that's a problem. This is real talk. You know what I'm saying? I know that's a problem. Like I think it did happen like in the '80s, man. If I listen to the '80s, man, when the guy in the corner could just make, everybody started looking up to the guy on the corner who was making the
Well,
big bucks, and that
yeah,
became
that. But they took men out of the equation. So
ah
you didn't have anybody to actually show you
mm-hmm.
how to go to work. So
Right.
you're correct. Drugs came in once, like the Panthers came about and they introduced drugs into our neighborhoods. Hard body,
Mm,
especially crack. I mean, we had heroin for a very long time,
yeah.
but once they introduced crack and you could make that fast buck, you took away all the dads and the uncles out the community. So you don't have anyone now going to work. Now you come up with the broken families because before dad was able to go to work and made enough money where mom could stay home and actually raise the children.
Mm,
Can't do that now. The way that
yeah.
society is set up, you actually need two incomes to make the household function.
Mm,
And it's weird because, especially in the projects in the city, if you have a man, you can't get Section 8. You can't live in the projects.
that's crazy.
So you're taking the man out, and they're making women. They're giving women incentives to get rid of the man.
Right.
So who's going to be around to show your son to go to work every day, how to carry
Mm.
himself as a man? You don't have that anymore.
Right.
And then you have the guy on the corner who's doing that. So now that is your role model. That's
Wow.
what you're aspiring to. That, or as you say, you watching TV and you see LeBron, or you see I can't. I want to be disrespectful to today's rappers, but I can't name
It's
one.
okay.
I, ah,
I'm not inviting him to the show.
it's all good. Did you hear that
No,
new
I'm only
Busta
kidding. I take that back.
Rhymes
I take that back. Uh,
Czar?
huh?
That Busta Rhymes M.O.P. remix
That was
Czar?
crazy. They went
That's what I'm talking
crazy.
about. But that's a whole nother
Yeah,
subject.
they were bananas. I said, these guys.
That's what I'm
I
talking
said,
about. That's
damn,
hip
Buster,
hop.
Buster came.
Yeah, he did that. He did that.
Buster Rhymes came in the. He was on a shark fin. He came. I said, this is a bad mother. I said, I
You
said,
got
this
to
is a
see the
bad
other
mother.
video.
He came
You
in the
got to see the
video on
other
a
one.
shark's fin. I said, oh, I'm done, yo. I said,
But Bus was
I said, who
always
gonna?
crazy with his videos.
I
But
said,
it's
who's gonna
another
top
one
that?
that's a lot simpler. He has another video. It's a lot simpler. It's just
Mm.
him, Fane, Dan's, and
The remix.
Blockweiler doing the beat.
It's
Yeah,
still dope.
yeah.
It's still dope.
I actually like that video better.
Oh
But
wow. I don't know, man. I like the Black Superman shit.
I I'm boom bap.
Nah, yeah, that is some boom bap shit. That was some boom bap shit, bro. Buster went
Yeah,
ham. That's Buster.
yeah. That was, man. He did
Yo,
that.
do you realize that the OGs in our generation is still good? They last
Yeah.
longer in the game.
Uh,
I was just telling somebody that. I said, yo, the OGs in the game, they still generate interest. Yo, they still doing things like this. You know what I'm saying? It's
because
crazy.
if you think about it, when we were coming up, we still had commitment to community.
Yeah,
Like, okay, look at Big Daddy Kane, Young Gifted and Black. We had X Clan. We
yeah,
had
that's
Poor
true.
Righteous Teachers. We had a lot of people that were talking about the red, black, and green. People were
Yeah,
conscious of who they were. That was when the nation of gods and earth like were
yeah,
really popping. Like if somebody ran up on you, asked you for today's mathematics, if you didn't know that, there was
yeah.
consequences and repercussions behind that,
No doubt,
right?
no doubt.
So people were a lot more aware of, and especially now with the health craze going on, everyone's like super health conscious and all that.
Yeah,
And we didn't abuse our bodies. The most
yeah.
folks used to do back in the day was
Mm,
like smoke a little weed or whatever.
mm.
Now people pride themselves of being like straight drug addicts.
Yeah,
That's like it's cool to be a drug addict now.
yeah.
And
It's strange.
uh,
It's that
listen,
culture
man,
is that we didn't live in that. We didn't come from that culture. This is
nah, not at all,
yeah. That's why.
not at
But
all.
this is why I'm gonna have people on like a lot of that has to do. Let me back up a little bit. A lot of that has to do with the trauma people are experiencing. People out here, they need healing. They run into things that they get a quick fix with to saying separate themselves from reality. But um, uh, I think that I have like other people on that's coming on that talk about ayahuasca and stuff like that. I think that and now I'm reading about mushrooms and how that heals trauma and stuff like that because I know that we're dealing with a lot of trauma. If we can find a way or find some type of medicine or something that we all um be like, yeah, we tried that shit worked. To deal with that trauma, I think we'll be better off because I know that's what people are suffering from. It's like obvious.
Yeah, there's
I
a
know that was long
lady.
winded.
Nah, it's a lady, Dr. Joy DeGruy, post-traumatic slave syndrome.
Oh yeah,
She
yeah,
wrote
yeah.
a book, and she deals with that specifically. Because
No
you have
doubt.
to first recognize that you are traumatized. But to even say that is, I don't want to say it's an excuse, but generations before us
Mm,
didn't turn to drugs
that's true.
as like the end all be all. That's people are using that now
That's true.
just because, man. It's because
Yeah,
it's popular. People are watching TV more than they read.
yeah, it's true.
I have the city. the city school system right now, I know up in Rochester, it's rough, man. Because I have people sometimes coming
Mm,
not too far out of high school who have issues with basic math. I'm talking about just like the multiplication table.
right.
That's a problem. You
Yeah.
just graduated high school like 2, 3 years ago, and your reading comprehension is not up to par. Your math skills are not up to par.
Mm,
Like I don't understand that. And
yeah.
it's not like once we start going over the information, it's like starting to click.
Mm,
It doesn't click. So I'm basically teaching this whole thing all over again. Now, if you
mm,
were actually taught it, it would click. It was like, oh yeah, I remember that.
right.
The response I'm getting, you were never taught that.
Wow.
That's a problem. So
Wow.
now I call that like a reverse Jim Crow, whereas before they kept us out of schools and wanted to keep everything separate. Now you welcome them in, you give them a certificate that says that you can do this, but you don't teach them to the criteria of the piece of paper that you gave them. So now you basically send them out into the world skillless and uneducated.
Dangerous.
What are you supposed to do with that?
Yeah. I mean, wow. Whew. I mean, yeah, that's crazy. Skilled and uneducated. Yeah, that spells
Yeah, what do you
disaster.
do?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for any community. If you have too many people on dealing with that. Oh man. Anything you want to say before we head out of here? Cause I feel like if I keep going on, we're gonna go past the
yeah,
time
we'll be on
easily.
the yeah.
Easily, I will still keep talking and talking,
Yeah.
and we're gonna keep talking and talking. And I'm gonna forget the time because building with you, man. I didn't even it's hard to keep up with the time. But yeah, man. Anything you want to say to the people that's watching before we head out?
Not right off the top.
All good,
I'm regular just with conversation.
no
So
doubt.
that's how I carry it.
I could dig it, man. Thanks for coming to the institute, man. I really appreciate this,
Now, I
and we
appreciate you
definitely
having
gonna
me.
keep up with you. One,
I appreciate you having me. I appreciate you having me.
no doubt.